successful model actually in similar countries of Yemen, like Syria context. Also, maybe I think Iraq context. So that's why we're planning to continue. Actually, I have my colleague Mohammed Al-Khayyat, who is actually a community of practice leader, and he will talk further about the challenges as a teacher, as a trainer, who how to cope the day-to-day teaching practices. He, by the way, Mohammed came from Taiz. This is the city who has been heavily influenced by the war and the conflict. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Raja. Raymaz, would you like to?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Raja, and may Allah bless the beautiful country of Yemen, and may peace be upon you soon. Firstly, I admire all the things that you guys have been doing, and I think it's amazing that despite of everything, education is still a priority. Fantastic, that's very good. Well, John, I think we can move to the next presenter, but I would say that honestly, I find it very impressive that teachers who weren't paid since 2015 are still continuing to teach and in those circumstances.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, isn't it? And I think that you know, quite a lot of the comments that have come in have expressed great solidarity and some comparative comments about the Lebanon and about Algeria, but a lot of solidarity across the region on that. And the points about girls and why do girls seem to bear the brunt of the kinds of problems, and what's the role of the local community in terms of their support for teachers and education in general. But yes, as you say, let's now move on to Mohammed and get his perspective on the situation in the Yemen. Thanks, Mohammed.
Thanks, Rajaa. Hello, everyone. This is Mohammed Al-Khayyat, and I'm going to talk about the challenges that face online training in Yemen, and also to shed the light on the solutions we have adopted to get over them. In fact, the biggest challenge is that most of the infrastructure of network sector in Yemen has been destroyed during the war, and its performance was greatly affected, and this resulted in a low interconnection with an average of 0.38 megabytes per second. This was reflected negatively on our training endeavors and made our work in TOPs a kind of impossible. Especially, we were planning to conduct lots of synchronous sessions. The second barrier is related to teachers' financial conditions, which has a profound effect on their internet access. The reason is that nearly 2/3 of public school teachers in 11 governorates haven't received their salaries for over 3 years, and consequently can't afford the cost of the internet service to join online training programs. And what makes the situation worse is the recent increase in the cost of the service, which exceeds 50% of one's income. The diagram here shows that Yemen is ranked as the second country out of 19 countries in the Arab region with the highest internet cost. Another challenge we face is that the shift to online training has led to inequality and equity in accessing training programs between teachers who live in urban areas with fast connection and those who live in rural areas with weak connection. In addition, cultural and conservative traditions are barriers for female teachers who are willing to join such online training programs. The fourth barrier is that most Yemeni teachers have no digital literacy, and this constitutes a huge challenge for most of them to join online training programs. We have worked with teachers who can't even create an email account for themselves. Some spend too much time training to enroll in online courses, but in vain. They have many digital difficulties, in fact. The fourth barrier is the political conflict, which led to the existence of two different educational systems in Yemen, North and South. However, both systems are not placing online learning or training in their respective regions and policies. And this poses a challenge to mount a kind of harmonized countrywide response towards teachers' online training. And now I'll talk about strategies we applied in Yemen to overcome teacher training challenges. Our strategy, for example, to face lack of device tools, such as laptops, was to drive our COB teachers to use their smartphones, since mobile data coverage is much better than broadband. As well as 99% of all Yemeni teachers have smartphones as part of their daily routines. And to overcome weak connection, we actually applied two strategies. The first was to select appropriate platforms, and after careful evaluation of the available platforms, we decided to use WhatsApp for the 3 COPs and Facebook for our tags group. In fact, these two platforms are widely used by Yemeni teachers. Besides, they don't need fast internet, and more importantly, they can be applied synchronously and asynchronously. We also applied the solution of allocating suitable time to connect, just to avoid the rush internet connection hours. So we agreed with our COB members to connect together at specific times when there is low pressure on the internet service. This works well, and we could connect and conduct several successful synchronous sessions. The fourth strategy was discussing the financial conditions Yemeni teachers are passing through, and suggested a kind of support from the British Council. They responded positively and supported the proactive members with mobile data credit and several online training courses. And finally, in order not to leave any teacher behind, we are thinking of using flash memories as an alternative to disseminate training materials to local teachers who have no internet connection at all. This requires visits to public schools, which are located in remote areas. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mohammed. Remus, did you want to come back on anything that Mohammed had just said?
Yeah, just saying it's magnificent, all the things that they've done. I was very impressed by the idea of SIM cards, small SIM cards. It's storage. I don't know what you call it, but like these memory cards.
Yeah, offline learning. Yeah.
Yeah, memory cards. We did explore that idea in Sudan, but they're quite expensive.